This is Good Morning Mumbai with Hrishi K.
The beautiful Zareen Khan is my guest of the day, and I'm really, really happy to see that she's in one of my favorite colors, which is pink. You're looking lovely as always.
Thank you so much. Though pink is not my favorite color. My favorite color is blue.
Do you have like a regular stylist that you work with, or just like a battery of stylists and you pick and choose a bit?
Yeah, I have 2 or 3 stylists that I work very closely with. So if one is not available, the other one is. So it's always good to have 2, 3 people.
You have to keep your
and they're
options
really
open.
good.
Listen, this is just so amazing. A little birdie tells me that this is kind of like your calling.
Yeah.
Getting on the road, doing a trail,
Yes.
and also combining your primary passion with profession, which is actually your television debut as an anchor. Talk to me about it.
Oh, where do I start from? It's as you said, my calling. It's actually something that I feel I sent out in the universe, and I've got it on my plate and actually custom made for me. So, as you know, the show is called Jeep Bollywood Trails. I am going to be driving a Jeep all across India to iconic locations that have been used in our Bollywood films, and a lot of anecdotes that have been shared by the directors of these films themselves, telling us what went into the making of their films. It was amazing because everything that I love has come together. Traveling is my passion. Not a lot of people know that I'm an avid traveler, a very passionate traveler. So passion and my profession, as you said, Bollywood, come together. And with the biggest, best brands backing it up, like Jeep and AXN, because the show is going to be airing on AXN from 25th of January. So I don't know. I couldn't have asked for anything better. I'm just so excited right now. I mean, you can feel the excitement in my voice also. I'm just waiting for the show to come on air for the audiences to see what I've done. Because in this show, they're not going to be seeing Zareen Khan, the actress. They're going to be seeing Zareen Khan as the person she is, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy the show as much as I enjoyed filming it.
How good are your off-roading skills? Because that's the first thing you look at when you're actually behind the wheel. Are you a good driver?
I am a great driver, and I'm not going to be modest about it because I know there's a lot of perception that,
About women
girls,
drivers,
yeah, and oh God, I get so angry when, that happens, because even on this show, my crew members were taken by surprise, and I've gotten this compliment by almost everybody that, oh my God, we're really impressed by your driving. Oh my God, you're a really good driver. I'm like, yes, I am. And I'm not going to be modest about it. So it's been fun because Jeep is, one of my favorite car brands, and I think it is the best companion I could have had on this travel show, on this journey, because it is a car that is fit for all terrains. I have driven in snow. I have driven in these really narrow bylanes of Udaipur. I have driven to these really difficult terrains, but it's just Jeep made it feel also comfortable and smooth.
Are you one of those who turns around and says if somebody overtakes him, overtakes her, and tries and comes in front of her nose, I mean the car's nose, gets a little agitated and says, I'll show you what I'm made of, and at the next turn I'll overtake you?
think,
or do you just breathe easy and let it go?
Most of the times I try to breathe easy, but somehow the traffic rules and the driving situations are not very favorable in our country. Most of the drivers and the pedestrians, they need to learn a little road discipline, which our country really lacks, because there are times where you'll see that you're driving and all of a sudden somebody has come flying right in front of your car, right when you are and they want to cross that very moment, looking in the opposite direction from where the car's coming. So at such times it's very difficult to keep your cool, but I really try my
and
best.
most importantly, it's so important to send out that safety message out there. I still see so many people turning around and not wearing their seat belts and saying, oh, I'm sitting at the back, or I'm
Yeah.
sitting next to the front seat, and that could be the difference between having your life saved and you
Oh,
going the
yes,
next minute.
yes.
Yeah.
See, that's what your safety is in your own hands, and it doesn't really take much to do. All you have to do is wear a seat belt. How difficult is that? But yeah, I mean, people have their things, and some of them don't like wearing seat belts, but they have to understand that seat belt wearing and not wearing is not upon your liking. It's for your safety, and it's mandatory. So please, for your own safety, wear it, because
And all Indian car manufacturers now, to be fair to them, are actually building great tech. You know, passing safety tests, and all of them have airbags. So, you know, we have no excuse right here and now. Okay, listen, I'm going to come into the show now because, see, normally what happens is you can sit face to face like what I do on the radio and speak to these fascinating directors. You know, some of them so intelligent, so sharp, so experienced. And here are you actually traveling with them, or, you know, at a location with them. And this is really beautiful. So, Raju Hirani and you, did you actually take him to the Druk School, Pangong Lake, or did you have a conversation with him here? And does it cut into the Pangong Lake?
So I'm going to just give you a little clarity on this. Unfortunately, I did not really get the chance to converse with the directors myself. The makers had already done their bit of interviewing these directors, though I was really looking forward to speaking to them by myself so that, you know, I could understand the story better, and when I go to those places, I would be able to look at it in a better manner. But nonetheless, I kind of showed people around with the interviews that I had of these amazing directors, and I travel by myself, but yes, it is through the eyes of these directors that, you know, I show whatever places I am traveling to the audiences.
Okay, so you actually went to the Chel Palace, to Druk School and Pangong Lake, and this is where Three Idiots was shot.
Yes.
So you went to that absolutely blue lake.
Oh
so
my God.
What did you experience when you went there?
I mean, I have no words to express how beautiful that is, because it was almost a 5 hours drive from where we were staying to the lake, and we started really early in the morning. You have to cross a couple of mountain passes to reach that lake. Unfortunately, just a night before, it had snowed, which we weren't aware of when we started in the morning. So the whole crew was not really prepared for snow mountain passes. Neither were we dressed according to snow, nor the cars were equipped with, the wheels weren't equipped to kind of go through the snow. Thankfully, I was in my Jeep Wrangler, so it wasn't real difficulty for me, because I went through quite smoothly. But then the crew that was in the other cars, because it was so fresh of a snow, the cars were kind of slipping back. As much as they were going ahead, it was slipping back. So we were kind of stuck in those snow mountains for almost 2 to 3 hours, kind of getting our way. But once when we passed all of that, and once when we saw the lake, even from a little far away distance, it was so beautiful. And as we kept approaching it, the beauty just kept on increasing. And the moment we reached there, we just forgot about everything that we went through that day to reach that lake, all the challenges, all the difficulties, people breathing and their BPs going low and almost dying. But once we reached there, it was worth it. It is so beautiful. Like, the water of that lake is so clear that it reflects the color of the sky, whatever the color of the sky is at that time of the day. So it's just beautiful. I even picked some pebbles from that lake and I've got back at souvenirs. So I was there at Pangong.
But, you know, breathing that fresh mountain air, people say that it's almost meditative going up in the mountain. You know, you don't need to pray, as it were.
Yeah.
You just so still and feel wonderful. So, like a spiritual awakening almost, yeah?
Yes, you can call that. It's just beautiful to another level. It's like God has actually spent all his time making this place with all his color corrections and all, because when you click a picture in that place, there's no filter required, there's no color correction required. And yes, there is something about that place that makes you just internally so happy, so connected, as you said, you know. Like on my way back from Pangong Lake, it was almost night. On our way back, we saw this, actually see the Milky Way from there. You see millions of stars and, shooting stars. And it just looked like I could, lift my hand and touch the stars. They were so close. So just the beauty and that whole vibe of that place and just everything about that place does make you feel connected.
Now let's move to Manali. Now I know that Imtiaz Ali, the director, likes filming in Kashmir a lot because I actually went on the highway location with Alia and himself and Nandip Huda because we were recording an audio documentary. But I also know that he loves Manali a lot, and a lot of Jab We Met was shot there.
Yeah.
Your experiences in Manali?
Manali is one of my favorite places too. As you speak of Jab We Met, I remember when Jab We Met had released, I was in college, and I had actually that time planned a trip to Manali only because I wanted to experience the whole feel of Jab We Met.
Oh, sweet.
So, yeah. So that was the experience then. But of course, this time when I went with the crew, with G Bollywood Trails, it was a very different experience. I got to know a lot more of the place through Imtiaz's vision and, his eyes. So it was great, but Manali is a place where I've been to a lot of times before and I know very closely. So,
and they always say that when you go up and you have that kullad wali chai at one of those roadside dhabas, it's absolute bliss.
Yes, it is.
So, any experiences of eating local food where you went?
Almost everywhere. I mean, isn't traveling all about that? Like, you go to a place, you meet new people, you try their local flavors, and you get to you go to the depths of the place to know the real history or the culture of that place. And that's exactly what I've done. That's exactly what I love doing. In Banaras we had the famous Banaras ka pan. In Manali and Ladakh, places up north, momos and those kind of foods are very popular. Yak cheese, yak milk, all that is very popular. So I tried that. I am very experimental that way with food. And yes, every place has their local flavors. When I went to Punjab, we actually stopped. I mean, our lunches happened on the go. So it was always in dhabas where, where you have those wired cots and, you actually sit on them. And so it's just a very different and very enriching experience when you experience all of these things.
And staying in the mountains, you also went to Shimla, which a lot of people turn around and say is getting too crowded.
It is, yeah.
For everybody is good, but if you still go to Bhimtal and some of the other elevated places, you get to experience some bliss. And this is where Siddharth Anand filmed Bang Bang with the hunky Hrithik Roshan and Katrina.
Yes. Shimla was my very first trip. And I don't know how it was earlier, but yes, this time, I mean, when I went, it was actually very crowded. Bhimtal that you're speaking of is, I guess, somewhere in Nainital and not Shimla. So, but Shimla has its own charm. It's a very beautiful little city, not very big, but very scenic. Again, people are really nice, and it was a different experience. It was my first time there, so I enjoyed it.
Do you have the apples? Do you have the apples?
No, I did not have the apples, but we had parathas from this really famous, it was a really tiny stall, but they made such yummy parathas. Apparently, even Hrithik has had those parathas, which I can't really imagine him having parathas, but he did have those parathas when he was shooting for Bang Bang, and oh my god, what parathas.
Lovely. And I can imagine that Banaras, you briefly mentioned having Banarasi pan, must have been quite an experience.
Yes.
Those small gullies,
Yes.
the temples, the carts.
Yes.
And this is where Anand L. Rai filmed Ranjana, which is such a sleeper hit. Amazing stuff from Dhanush and Sonam. Did you see the film? Did you
Of
manage
course
to
I did the film, yes.
Yeah. So your experience in Banaras.
I saw the film, not did the film. I wish. Banaras is so culturally colorful, I would say, when I went
Did
to...
the vehicle fit into those lanes?
Oh my God.
Wow.
It was difficult, but as I said, I'm a very good driver.
We take your word for it, Zareen.
But, Banaras I've been to before, but it's always been like a one-day trip for work or so. This time, again, it was a short trip for Jeep Bollywood Trails, but my God, I saw so much of Banaras in this trip, and especially that evening aarti at the Ganga Ghat aarti. So, oh my God, that when that happens, the whole vibe of that place, that whole energy over there is something else, So, yes, it's been great.
Lovely. And Rajasthan has got to be one of the most colorful places on the planet. I mean, international celebrities like Madonna and Richard Gere come in and they're just taken in by the splendor of Rajasthan. Did you do Udaipur in the summer or in the winter? Must have been really hot if it was desert summer.
It was summers.
And this is where
winter,
Shashank
our
Khetan's
country hardly
film
gets.
is Ladakh.
Mumbai. I mean, Udaipur now winters, yeah, but when I went, it was summers only.
So experiences
Rains
in
maybe.
Udaipur. Did you get off your 4x4 and actually get onto a camel or not?
No, unfortunately not. But Udaipur was one of the places where it was really difficult to drive because Udaipur's lanes are really narrow. Okay, but yes, that was an experience too because Rajasthan, as you said, is a very historically enriched place. They have a lot of monuments. They have a lot of history to that. And apart from showing the places that has been used in the film Dhadak, there were a lot of other things also that I experienced. Like, I got to see their folk dance and again eat their local food, which is dal bhati churma, which is my favorite.
Gatte ki sabzi.
Oh God. So yes, that was another wonderful experience.
And how much of a shopper are you? Are you a compulsive shopaholic? Did you load the vehicle with a lot of your shopping bags, or would you just pick up basics? For example, Rajasthan, they say, is a shopper's paradise. I mean, there's so much of art and craft. Yeah. Did you pick up stuff?
Not really. Because when I go to any place, my first intention is to explore the place, maybe eat the local food over there, get to know more about that place, its history, its culture, go in the interiors of that place, which maybe, is untouched or not really explored by a lot of people, rather than shopping and enjoying the nightlife. I'm not somebody who really enjoys doing that when I'm on a trip. Yes, if I've been to a place a lot of times before, then I might go towards doing the whole shopping bit. But then for the Jeep Bollywood Trails, we were in each city for almost 2 days. And, our whole day went in shooting and seeing the place and showing the place around to people. So did not really get the time to shop much.
So you shop for experiences.
Yes, you can say that.
Yeah, but that's the true wealth. If you look at it.
I mean, shopping nowadays, shopping is online. You can shop from your phone also, but you're not going to get to see that place again. So why waste time, shopping when that can be done anywhere?
Do you enjoy conversing with locals, like going into a village, going into a house, and talking to people about their lives?
Of course, because that I feel. As I said, traveling is the most enriching experience, and these are the things that kind of add to the enrichment. These people, these locals, they have so much to share, and they get so happy when they see that there's somebody come to actually know about their place and who's interested in knowing about their culture, their history. Like when I went to Chanderi, there is this one place where it's about handloom and weaving and all those things, and how from scratch they make those machines, and their families are into weaving, and how it takes them, because Chanderi is famous for Chanderi silk saris and all that, how it takes them from a 10-day to even 6 months to make a sari, and it's just amazing to get to know of all these things.
I'm going to now I have to ask you one more thing about your travel. Did you drive through the day and then stop driving in the evenings or at night? Yeah. Or are you the kind of person who is happy to drive well into the night? Or after sunset, do you take a break? How does it work?
No, I honestly, given me a chance, I would keep driving, but then that wasn't really possible because I was not the only one on this. I had my crew also with me who were doing their hard work of filming and, shooting in difficult situations. All I was doing was enjoying and just driving around and doing my bit of talking, but they were actually doing the real work. And I think it was important that we did take our halt so that people could recharge, refuel, so that the next day ka shoot happened.
But listen, in Rajasthan, didn't you do some dune bashing or something like that? Take the car into the dunes?
No,
or have you done
we
that
did
in
not
Dubai
really.
already?
Yeah, I've done that in Dubai already.
You have?
I have.
I'm impressed, yeah?
I've done that in Dubai. But for this show, we did not really get the chance to kind of cover that because maybe it did not even go with the aspect of the film that we were showing.
Wow, adventure lover. And have you driven those ATVs and things like that? You've done that also?
Yes, I've done that too. I've done that on the show also in Ladakh. So people are going to see that, and as I said, people will actually see the person I am because a lot of people don't know that. They have very different perceptions about me, and I'm very, very happy that, first of all, with a show that is custom made for me, finally people are going to see the real side of me.
And what are you wearing? I mean, when you're on the road, you can't wear, page 3 a red carpet finally. So what is your look through the series?
My look is how a traveler is supposed to be. Jeans, t-shirt, jackets in places where it's cold, boots. I mean, I am
and
not...
Is that your go-to look? I mean, when you're just hanging out.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I can't be traveling and driving in one gown and all, I mean, that's what I'm saying. This show is showing Zareen Khan, the person she is, and I will not, be... I dressed up in this show how I would normally dress up when I am traveling.
And what's your go-to fashion if you're just lounging out with friends or at home? I mean,
oh God,
are you a t-shirt and shorts kind of person?
Yeah, I am the most fashionably challenged person, you could say, and I like, my comfort is of utmost importance to me. I will never wear a dress or something that is making me uncomfortable. I love wearing my tracks, t-shirt, and I've been a tomboy all my life, so I'm just most comfortable, and this is what I'm most comfortable. You can see me right now, sneakers, a jumpsuit, very loose, which I'm very, very comfortable in.
Listen, we're going to just digress from your TV show. I'm so happy that your film Hum Bhi Akele Tum Bhi Akele has garnered so much love.
Yes.
Simply because, now it's coming into the limelight because Ayushmann Khurrana has just released his trailer of Shubh Mangal Zyada Saavdhan. But the fact that you're playing this lesbian character and Anshuman Jha is playing this gay character. More power to you guys for championing LGBTQ rights.
Thank you so much.
How did this film happen? When it first came to you, was it an immediate yes for you? Like all of us, I'm sure you have friends in the LGBTQ community.
Yes, of course. This film didn't come to me. I kind of went to these people when I got to know that this film was being made, and I actually convinced them because they were not convinced having me in their film. Because, as I said, people hold a very different perception about me because of the films I've done in the past. I've always been looked as a glamorous person and all that. Somehow not very good of an actor is the perception people hold of me. And when I went and met these makers, which is Anshuman Jha, because he's a producer also of the film, and Harish Vyasa, who's the director of the film. So yes, the film was narrated to me and everything, and I'm like, I want to do this film. Please let me do this. Like, no, we're not sure. You have a very different perception and this and that. And I said, just give me a chance. Please, just let me do this. No, we're not sure. It's a very different film. We don't think in this and that. I'm like, just if need be, take an audition. I am okay with that. But just give me this chance, They took the auditions. They were really impressed with. But then that whole thing that no, your perception is different, so that was a struggle. Now I'm like, please, I want to do this, you cannot be doing this with me, no, this, that, a lot of back and forth, but I think I was destined to do this film. Once the film was over, I got compliments from everybody, from my director to my DOP to the person who edited the film, because they're like, we've never seen Zareen like this, and they had really good things to say for me, really good wishes for me, that I hope this film changes things for me, changes people's perception towards me. So yeah, and then when the film won Best Film Award in the South Asian International Film Festival that happened in New York, the best compliment I received was, you were best as Mansi, and we cannot imagine there being any other Mansi. So I think I was very, very happy. This itself was an award for me. And it's a beautiful film. It's a human story of these two individuals, a gay man and a lesbian girl, and the journey of their friendship. Somewhere it depicts the struggles of the LGBTQ community, because in spite of the fact that we've gotten freedom from the government now after Section 377 being approved, but we still do not have freedom from our families. You know, you
And
can
the
still
stigma, yeah.
exactly, you still can't go up to your family and say that, oh, I'm a lesbian or I'm a gay, and they're gonna happily give you a hug and accept you. That's still not happening in our society. So this is a film about that. A fun film, not a very preachy film, but with a very strong message. And I'm very happy to be a part of it.
And again, it's your karma. There's a lot of travel in it, apparently.
Yes!
Where did you
Yes,
travel
it
for
is.
it? Where did you travel for it?
Well, originally the plan was to travel a lot more for this film, but then due to whatever reasons, and I think even elections were happening around that time, so we shot in Delhi and Dharamshala.
And did you go to a screening at one of these festivals, or did you see an audience reaction? Because that is really special,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes,
You know,
yes.
Films Festival audience is very different.
Yes, I went to New York at the South Asian International Film Festival, and most of the people who came to see the film were not Indians. They were, Americans or maybe any other nationality, but they loved the film. And we had a Q&A session after the film was shown to them, and they had such wonderful things to say. So I am so glad that when those audiences received it so well. This film is made for our audiences. I'm very sure that they would love the film and embrace it with open hearts.
Will it see a theatrical, or is it going to
Yes.
go to an OTT platform or something like that?
No, it is definitely going to have its theatre release somewhere around Valentine's Day.
And what is Mansi like? I mean, we know that she's a lesbian, but as a person, what is she like? And what is it about this platonic friendship with Anshuman Jha's character that really completes her? Talk to me about that.
Mansi is more or less like Zareen, except for the lesbian bit. Me being a tomboy in my reality has really helped me portray this character a little better. Also, I have a lot of friends from the LGBTQ community, so that again helped me portray this character better. Mansi is a foodie. I am a foodie too. I actually put on weight also for this film, because I wasn't supposed to look like a perfect a girl with a perfect body and muscular tone and all, because I'm playing a foodie. I'm supposed to look like a foodie. And these are two opposite individuals. Like Anshuman, who's playing the gay boy, is a little vulnerable, is a little you can call him an introvert kind of a thing, who doesn't really speak up much and has everything kept inside him. On the other hand, Mansi is completely opposite. She cannot keep anything that's happening inside her inside, like me, and she wants to just put it all out, and she is just this fun-loving person. She will try to spread happiness and make a person smile, even if she's not really feeling too well on the inside, but she makes sure that everybody around her is having fun, So I think that trait of hers, kind of complements this introvert side of Anshuman, and because they're two opposite individuals, they kind of complete each other.
That's beautiful. I can't wait to see the film.
Yes.
I'm sure it's really, really special. So, for Valentine's Day, we have a wonderful theme. We are saying love yourself this Valentine's Day.
Should.
And I think you are really the brand ambassador of that. Because the amount you got trolled, on social media, how do you manage to do it? How do you manage to bounce back? I mean, if 3 people say something adverse to me about the way I look, I suddenly get so conscious. And despite all the trolling, you've kept positive. And how do you manage to love yourself the way you do?
Because my love for myself is unconditional, and call it a defect or whatever it is, nobody can take that away from me. Nobody, whatever people can say, but what I feel for myself, nobody can change that. And just some stupid talks is not going to change that about me. trolling is something that I don't really take seriously. In fact, I have a lot of empathy towards these trolls because I feel these are the people who maybe in their reality are suppressed and they don't really have a say, and coming and trolling on social media is their way of venting out their frustration. So I feel sad for these people because they say those things behind a username which is not their name. There's no picture. So what to take something like that seriously and what to feel bad about something like this?
Sweet.
I mean, if you have something really nasty to say and if you have the balls, come and say it on my face, then we'll see and we'll deal with that. You're commenting on social media under a fake name with no picture, no identity. I to feel bad for such people. And especially I feel that these are your secret lovers, because if they hate you so much, everybody's life is very hectic and busy. Why would you take that much time out to come to a person whom you don't really like and say things there? So they're silently your lovers. They just need a little extra attention.
Very well said. So what would you tell all those women who are being trolled for stretch marks, for belly fat, all those things that they are trolled for online?
Yeah.
What is your advice to them this Women's Day, for example?
Well, as I said, love yourself, because there is nobody like you and there will be nobody like you. You are yourself and one piece. So with all the stretch marks, with all the belly fat and everything, you are what you are and you exactly know what you are. So nobody can make you feel bad over a stretch marks. Like, I am somebody who's lost more than 50 kgs of weight from from the size that I was. It's actually removing one human from my body. I have a lot of stretch marks. I have a lot of fat here and there. I do not have a perfect body, but I don't think anybody can make me any less, because I embrace my flaws. My flaws are what have made me, today I am the person because of my flaws. And my stretch marks, I actually embrace them like a tigress's stripes. So
how cool. Tigress's stripe. I like that. I'm going to hang on to that. So a lot of people say loving yourself is about how you were brought up as a child, if you were given a lot of love and affection. Other people say, so what if you're not brought up cocooned and given extra affection as a child?
Yeah.
You can still
Of course.
end up loving yourself later. So what is your view on that?
Well, your childhood, of course, matters. People who get a lot of love in their childhood are really lucky, but who don't, in fact, they should be loving themselves all the more, because if you haven't got people to love you, if you're not loving yourself, how are you even going to survive? You are supposed to first love yourself. It's only then will you be able to spread love and, love other people. Like when you get into relationships and all, most of these relationships fail because, they are trying to seek that love that you're supposed to give yourself from an outsider. The moment when you start loving yourself the most, you are your priority. I think everything in your life gets sorted.
Very well put. Very well put. So this is concert season. Katy Perry came into town. Dua Lipa came into town. U2 came into town. Arijit Singh is now on concert. Amit Trivedi was on concert. A concert that you've been to that you really tripped on when you were a kid, now, whatever.
Some years back, Guns N' Roses had come to Bombay. I had gone for their concert.
Wow.
And,
So Axl Rose and Sweet Child of Mine and everything.
Yes. So I love the whole. I love guitar as an instrument, and wow, I think that was my very first concert, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. The whole vibe, that concert arena has that time, and people go crazy, and it's unreal.
So what's on your phone? Are you an EDM lover, rock lover? What do you listen to?
My taste of music keeps changing according to my mood. Sometimes I'll hear really hard music. Sometimes I like really soothing music. But I'm more of a not very, I'm not very hard metal kind of a person. I can't really take that too much for a long time. I like soothing Sufi music most of the time.
Lovely. A drive abroad that you've gone to. Here you've told us of all your lovely drives in India, but abroad, have you gone on the Great Ocean Road? Have you gone somewhere in the UK? Your
There's
thoughts
so
on
many
that?
places I've gone to, luckily, thank God. But lately, last December, I was in LA, again my first trip to LA, and that whole drive from what is that place? Carmelo or something like that. There's a big outlet mall. From that onwards to Malibu to Santa Monica Pier, it's just such a beautiful stretch. I'd always only seen it in movies, mountains on one side, beautiful looking beach on the other side. It was the most beautiful drive.
What's your comfort food? What is it that you reach for in the fridge?
I am addicted to chocolates, but somehow now I've kind of gotten a control on that too. But my comfort food is my mom's food, man. She makes the most amazing, delicious food. Like whenever I'm traveling, I lose weight. But then the moment I'm back home eating all my mother's food, I put on weight back again. So
what is it? Biryani or is it like dal chawal or what is it?
Anything. Like her dal chawal can also taste like biryani. She's so good with her food. She has some magic in her hand.
Last question. What is it that you look forward to in a man? I mean, somebody you're attracted to. What should he be like?
First of all, he should have a great sense of humor. He should be able to talk, because I'm a very chatty person. Of course, both of us can't talk together. But then if he doesn't talk, I'll get really bored because sometimes I need to listen. Should be very spontaneous, adventurous. My God, that's a long list, no?
Very demanding, Zareen.
And should have a little crazy, like a little twang trait, like a little twang thing like me.
Twang thing, I'll hang on to that. Listen, this is a lovely interview. Thank you so much.
Thank
All
you
the best
so
for everything
much.
you're
It was
doing.
so nice talking to you.
Cheers.
Thank you.